Right now, King County has 194 public defenders, while the prosecutor's office has far fewer at 144. In her budget request for next year, Prosecutor Lisa Mannion asked for funding for 21 new prosecutors, 21 paralegals, and 16 victim advocates. Meanwhile, she says the executive's budget adds 17 additional public defenders. That means there will be 67 more public defenders than prosecutors. And right now, the current draft of the proposed budget will not fund any new prosecutors. In a letter this week to the council expressing her disappointment in the disparity, Mannion writes, "I do not understand why it is okay to ignore the constitutional rights of victims or fail to properly fund prosecutorial resources aimed at addressing internet crimes against children, human trafficking, wage theft, elder abuse, juvenile possession, and other serious issues." And this move may fall hardest on the cities in South King County, which have a higher number of crimes to prosecute. So joining me now is Kent Mayor Dana Ralph. Mayor Ralph, what is your reaction to the planned lack of funding for prosecutors as it stands right now?
David, we are very concerned about this ongoing lack of funding for the prosecutor's office. We know that there's already a significant disparity between the prosecutor and the public defender, and this just solidifies that. We know that also that this lack of funding for the prosecutor's office will, as you said, have more of an impact on places like South King County, where there's more crime that needs to be prosecuted.
So the legislature passed the criminal justice sales tax, with authorized cities like Kent to raise money for prosecutors and victims. So what happened? Was this just a bait and switch for the voters?
So we are very frustrated. We're grateful that the 2015 passed, giving cities and counties the authority to pass this tax. But the language in it is so broad that it does not require the funding of things like the prosecutor's office, additional law enforcement officers, and allows for programs to be funded and that kind of thing. So it is very frustrating, because I think that the general public believes that a public safety sales tax will be used for public safety purposes.
Right now, prosecutors are carrying very high caseloads. It is stressful work. What's the impact to community safety, to the citizens of Kent and our other South King County cities, if they can't get some added assistance?
I think it's not unfair to say that it's devastating. The burden that the prosecutors bear, they are the ones that are required to prove the case. So significant amount of work. They also defend every other case that the government brings, where public defenders are simply working for their individual defendant. Without prosecutors being able to do their job fully, we know that crimes are going to go unprosecuted, and that does have an impact on general public safety, as well as the constitutional requirement to support victims.
So Lisa Mannion says she's still hoping to work with the council to get them to change their minds. What's your message to the King County Council?
We need to fund the public defender's office. We need to fund the prosecutor's office. It's a very simple message. The system works because it's balanced, and in this case, it's no longer balanced. When there are so many more public defenders than there are prosecutors, the system can't operate. And our residents, the residents of King County, deserve better.
It seems like a slap in the face to the victims. It's all about the suspects these days, doesn't it?
It's far too often we are collectively taking more consideration and more value in the taking care of the defendant than we are the general public and public safety. Victims deserve to have a voice. They deserve to have a prosecutor that can represent them and do their very best in those cases. And we're not showing the victims that they matter.
And finally, I know how hard your police department works. What's the impact on the officers and detectives out there who are making arrests every day?
They're doing their job. They're making the arrests, and when those cases cannot be prosecuted, it's demoralizing. They're working really hard to keep our community safe, and the next step in the process has to be prosecution. And if the prosecutors aren't there and don't have the capacity, those crimes go unpunished, and our officers are they're repeating the same cycle over and over again, and we're not seeing results.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, we appreciate your time today. Kent Mayor Dana Ralph, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you for highlighting this. It's really important to the county.
Absolutely.